Hello everybody, my name is Matthew Zhang and I'm an NSI 2TO. I'm very excited to be speaking to you as the candidate for VP Academic. So in my history with school, I've had the opportunity to engage in academic advocacy on a number of issues. In my first year, I was the engineering science class rep. And in my second year, I served both as a project director and on the academic advocacy committee on the appeals board, dealing with student complaints with regards to academic activities. So I have a long history of interacting with professors and with students in terms of academic advocacy, and I'm here to ensure that if I was elected, that you guys would be receiving the academic support that you need. If you were to elect me, I'm campaigning mainly on two key issues. Firstly, I want to ensure that class reps, particularly first-year class representatives, receive seamless integration into the school community. When I was a first-year class rep, I often wish that I had a little bit more to know in terms of how to engage with professors. I think would be extremely helpful because first-year class reps are often your first point of contact as a general member of the student community. So I'd be there to ensure that, at least within the first couple months, that class representatives would be getting a little bit of training and onboarding to enable them to just sort of integrate seamlessly into the roles that they would serve for the majority of the year. The second thing that I would do is to continue something that Sophia has been doing last year, which would be the integration of an anti-calendar for upper-year courses in particular, and to help people to have elective selections and get a little bit more support from that, and particularly with courses that there's not too much information about. I think that would be really helpful in getting some student input and coalescing everybody's opinions into one solid document for you people to have available to them would help them in their selection of electives. So whether you're in first year or you're in some upper year, I'm going to be there to ensure that you receive the academic support that you need by continuing these two initiatives and all the other ones that have been going on in the past few years. Thank you so much.
Is there any questions? I'll leave it for questions depending on how many people have people who. Aaron, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So I guess I'm curious, where do you see the line between your role as VP Academic and the role of class reps or the academic directors in terms of what do you think is sort of their jurisdiction to advocate for versus your jurisdiction to advocate for? Where do you see that kind of line being drawn there?
The way I see it, the VP Academic should be one of the highest boards of appeal, along with the discipline clubs, the heads of the discipline clubs, their own VP Academics. My personal role is to assist the people who are working more at the front end. So the people who are dealing with issues with respect to specific courses, so those class representatives, they're going to be there sort of under the supervision of their own discipline clubs who have managed their own portfolio of courses. I'm just there to ensure that people, as they're coming in, are receiving the information about oh, your discipline club, this is what's going to happen. Here are some other things board of directors and some other avenues of appeal that you have access to, and making sure that you know exactly what your role is, and that's being delineated clearly for you. The way it's currently being done is that a lot of the discipline clubs will sort of take direct responsibility, but I think, sort of coming in as a class representative, it's good to get to know your other class reps, and it's good to have some sort of systematic onboarding in terms of the entire school community. Yeah, I hope that answers your question.
So this year, last year the Metswall director fell under the portfolio of the VP Student Life, and this year it was the first time it was under VP Academic. I was wondering if you had any ideas for what your relationship with the Metswall director would look like in the upcoming year, and how you would see that go through.
I think it would be primarily one of assistance, making sure that they're able to receive the resources that they need and to understand the ability to their own ability to go through and appeal to whatever sort of resources are available out there. In terms of my own experience with this issue, unfortunately, I'm not the best equipped to deal with that firsthand. So I'd be looking to just find someone who's motivated and work with them and assist them in whatever means necessary.
So what channels will you be using to discuss with all the first year reps and the upper year reps right now?
So the sort of channels that exist are, there's not that many that exist. Currently we just send stuff out through email. So yeah, I just reinforce that maybe with the Facebook group. We do have an academic advocacy committee group. I think it would be good to have sort of a similar discussion, or maybe even to integrate the class representatives into a group like that.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, of course.